From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
And good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on your MTN Statewide News on this Tuesday. I'm Andrea Lutz. The Bear Creek fire near Dillon continues to grow, already burning more than 7,000 acres, and it's only 10% contained. Officials expect it to be another active day on the fire, and there's another fire weather watch in place. Nearly 450 firefighters are working to put out the flames, which were sparked by lightning. Crews don't expect to have the fire under control, though, until the end of September. The Crow Tribe is now in Stage 1 fire restrictions. Burn permits will not be issued at this time. This also means campfires are prohibited except in grills, but gas stoves are okay. Smoking's not allowed outside vehicles, buildings, or recreation sites, and agriculture fires must have a written permit. Well, Governor Steve Bullock says the Montana Fire Fund is completely filled for the first time ever. The state's budget was overflowing and leaders were able to transfer almost $45 million to reach the $100 million plus cap. Bullock says the full fire fund allows for resilience in case we do approach a record-setting wildfire season like we had in 2017. We are shaping up to have another scorcher of a day, and Ed McIntosh is tracking all those temperatures across Montana. It's going to be hot.
Yeah, well, hot yesterday for sure, Andrea. In fact, we were talking yesterday at noon about the potential for breaking records, and some of those certainly came through. Billings by 1 degree, Stanford, Livingston, Sheridan, Wyoming, all with temperatures that broke records for the day. How about Great Falls at 99, broke a record that went back to 1919 for August 17th. More heat on the way over the course of the next few days, but we have different types of concerns now. Rather than breaking records, we're thinking more about still heat advisories, but the risk of wildfires will increase as we add a little wind and the threat of some thunderstorms that could create lightning and wind. We'll talk more about that coming up.
Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi called representatives back to Washington to vote on a bill that would fund the Postal Service. Montana Congressman Greg Gianforte says he'll be there when the House reconvenes on Saturday. The Republican said he hopes the Speaker will work with his party on a bipartisan solution to avoid delays. In the Senate, Montana Democrat John Tester says he wants to question the Postmaster General about the funding.
And quite frankly, I don't know if the Postmaster General even wanted it. I don't even think he cares. And that's why I think it's important to get him in front of committees of Congress. Let's hear his side of the story. Let's find out what's going on. And then let's make the improvements that we need to make in Congress to support the Postal Service.
All right, this afternoon, there are 2 new COVID-19 related deaths in Montana being reported in Cascade and Roosevelt counties, this bringing the state's total number of deaths to 84. Also today, Montana adding an additional 57 new COVID-19 cases across the state. The total number of cases is close to 6,000 with over 4,000 recoveries. Family members of a Great Falls man who died from COVID-19 complications and wanted to donate his body to research say now they're left without answers.
2020 just sounded like one of those good luck years. As it turned out, it hasn't been good luck for anybody.
Earl Stuckey is the 4th person in Cascade County to pass away from the virus. His wife arranged for his body to be donated to the Montana Body Donation Program in Bozeman. But the department never received a request for the donors, leaving the family frustrated.
That was his final wish and gift of generosity to humanity for science to learn something from his body, and that was denied.
Family members say they're now left to grieve without the closure that Carl would have wanted. Face masks are required at all Montana K through 12 schools now in counties with 4 or more active cases of COVID-19. But are there enough smaller size masks to fit younger students? That really is the question. And in Cascade County, the health department says they are fielding questions about masks for students. Health officers expect the state's Joint Information Center to address those questions in the coming days. As for where you can find smaller masks, the Great Falls Public School District says they do have some available. Democrats continue to process and nominate Joe Biden in the first virtual political convention this year. And looking to tonight, Democrats are calling rising stars as keynote speakers. Skylar Henry has more from Capitol Hill.
The virtual Democratic convention kicked off with a mixture of live and taped speeches. Former First Lady Michelle Obama capped off night one, taking direct aim at President Trump.
He is clearly in over his head. He cannot meet this moment. He simply cannot be who we need him to be for us. It is what it is.
It is what it is, referenced the president's response when recently asked about the high number of daily U.S. deaths from the coronavirus. Senator Bernie Sanders also attacked the president's COVID response.
Nero fiddled while Rome burned. Trump golfs.
Democrats held a virtual moment of silence for George Floyd, whose death sparked calls for police reform.
People of all races, all ages, all genders, all backgrounds, peacefully protesting in the name of love and unity. It's a fitting legacy for our brother, but George should be alive today.
Democrats traditionally use night two to showcase one of the party's rising stars. Tonight, they're switching it up with a convention keynote address that features 17 different speakers.
One of them will be former Georgia gubernatorial candidate and voting rights activist Stacey Abrams. We'll also hear from Joe Biden's wife, Dr. Jill Biden.
What Jill is best at helping me do is figure out who the people around me would be most compatible with me. She knows me, I think, better than I know me.
Dr. Biden previewed her speech this morning, tweeting that she will deliver it from the classroom, where she used to teach. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Also tonight, a virtual roll call of states is set to officially nominate Joe Biden as the Democratic pick for president. The St. Louis couple who pointed guns at protesters will speak at the Republican National Convention next week. Patricia and Mark McCloskey drew national attention back in June after they were seen in a viral video brandishing guns outside of their home at a Black Lives Matter protest. They were charged with unlawful use of a weapon. President Donald Trump said it is absolutely absurd what is happening to the McCloskeys. Insurance rates for policies under the Affordable Care Act will remain steady in Montana. State Auditor Matt Rosendell announced policies sold by Blue Cross won't go up. Mountain Health Co-op will see a slight increase. Rosendell says Blue Cross and Mountain Health lowered their rates when he pressed them. However, industry officials say new claims influenced their final rates. About 50,000 Montanans use those policies. We do have more news ahead on this Tuesday on the New News, including this. We're going to take you to the first days of school at Carroll College. Things are going to be a little bit different because of the pandemic. We'll let you know how. But of course, first, Ed is up next with that statewide weather forecast.